What is going on, my friends, and welcome back to another video here on the channel. Well, XRP's price has made the move that we were talking about just in yesterday's video a lot faster than even I was expecting, and I want to tell you exactly why this is so important and why, from even a grand scheme of things, people don't recognize why this could be so big. And so with that said, let's not waste any more time at all, and let's get straight into it. Now, guys, don't forget, if you do want to trade a little Bitcoin or XRP, Solana, Swish, SHIB, doesn't matter, all these different cryptos on up to 500x leverage, although I highly recommend you do not go all the way up to 500x leverage. You can check out that BTCC link down below. Guys, when you do sign up specifically with my link down below, you're going to get a 10% bonus on first time deposits between $500 and $100,000. This means that if you deposit $5,000, for example, they're going to give you $500 back on the spot to start trading with. You turn that $500 into $1,000, all that profit you just made is yours, no strings attached. You can withdraw it, spend it, reinvest it. It doesn't matter. It's totally up to you. And I think this is an insane deal because it allows you to get free gains during the bull market on a platform that I personally like a ton. I do about 50 to 60% of my trading these days over on BTCC, and I think that it works pretty damn good. And so with that in mind, go check that out down below if that is something that interests you. And of course, you want to get a 10% bonus on those deposits. Now, let's kind of jump into what XRP's price is doing, and let me remind you what we were talking about in yesterday's video, because man, was it fast. I mean, geez. Okay, so what we were talking about was the breakout of this descending channel. We, of course, had this descending channel for XRP. As it was doing that, it was back testing this macro point of resistance that we'll talk about in a second here. We saw a huge flip of resistance to support, use that support to break out of this descending channel right here. Now, as it broke out of this descending channel, we started to notice that it was going to try to verify that descending channel breakout. I told you the way that we verify a descending channel breakout is by clearing this level right here at $1.54. And I told you, once we see that level cleared, it opens up that door to some of these $170, $175, $180 levels. And what we can, of course, see is that is exactly what happened. And I actually want to tell you all, or I want to show you all what we said. It's a 10-second clip real quick of what we talked about just in yesterday's video, because it's actually kind of crazy. So go ahead and let me turn on my desktop audio, and y'all go ahead and listen to this. Crazy work. It's going to end up hitting the top side of these Fibonacci's, 172, $1.85, well before coming back up and hitting this $2 zone up here. So what we were talking about in that was like, hey, listen, so if you go ahead and you just clear all this stuff out right here and you put on your Fibonacci's, I'm saying, look, we're all worried about $2 and all this stuff. No, this bad boy is going to Fibonacci extend much faster than that. I mean, we're possibly seeing this dude rocket all the way up to $1.75, $1.90, $1.85 somewhere up here. And I want you to see what happened. I mean, look at this. XRP's price comes up, clears our golden zone, clears the range high, goes up, runs into some resistance. Where does it run into resistance for the first major time? Right here, right at that 1.272 Fibonacci extension level, before finding support and continue upwards. And where did it now find the next point of resistance? The 1.618 Fibonacci extension level. If you still think that these levels are coincidence, I mean, man, you gotta just be being a little bit delusional, right? These things are working like butter. And what we can see here is XRP is now fully Fibonacci extended up to that 1.618 Fib extension level, which opens up even more doors of opportunity. And I want to tell you why this could be, again, a continuation of the steps that it needs to take if we really want to see XRP's price at $4, $5, $6. So now that you can kind of see what we've been talking about, the fact that it made that exact move towards the upside like we were hinting at and talking about in the last video, I want to talk a little bit about why this is so big, why this is so important, and again, why this could get us up towards $3 over the mid to long term. Now, before we do that, I just want to remind you, if this is all confusing, you're like, what? The Fibonacci's, what does that even mean? How do those work? And maybe you're a beginner and you're trying to get better and like grow your knowledge at this. Maybe you're advanced and you're trying to get even better. Maybe you're starting to try to get more exponential growth with leverage trading or whatever it may be. All I ask from you, specifically you, is to stay towards the end of the video. If you are somebody who's trying to get better at crypto, stay until the end of the video, because at the end of the video, I'm going to go over the Discord server, which has all types of stuff in it that I want you to see. Whether it's my insights, the things I'm buying and selling, the daily technical analysis reports, fundamental analysis reports, the professional trade teams we hired, the premium classes we're releasing, the beginners courses we're releasing, the mini videos we're releasing on random things, or whether it's just the community that's literally just printing gains these days. If you want access to this and you want to start just getting better in crypto, again, stick to the end of the video. I'm going to tell you how to do it. Okay. So let's go into this now. We know what's happened with XRP, full Fibonacci extension. What next? What next? Well, In the short term, I have to say this, I have to be honest, okay? In the short term, what I know is that when a crypto is capable of seeing a full Fibonacci extension, meaning from its high down to its low, and if you don't know what the Fibonacci's are, remember, just stick around. I literally did an entire class, 30 minutes on the Fibonacci's, but I'll tell you about that later. But whenever it has these Fibonacci extensions from swing high down to swing low, and it goes all the way up to its top side extensions, what I do know is that things usually can start to cool off. Not a guarantee. Doesn't always happen, but things definitely can start to cool off a ton. What I've come to recognize is usually when you hit this 1.618 Fibonacci extension level, you will run into some resistance, and that is what's happening right now, right? We can see it kind of cooling down a bit. This actually looks pretty damn bullish to me, though, if I'm going to be honest. On the hourlies, this looks like it might be a continuation pattern, and we might continue upwards, and that's amazing. But at the end of the day, you have to recognize that there is the risk now that we do see this kind of pull back or cool down a bit. You look at something like your 4-hour RSI, for example. Let me pull this up. You can't see it did hit that green threshold, so it is a little bit overbought now. You look at your 4-hour MACD, we are starting to get a little bit of short-term convergence, which means that momentum is slowly dying off. So now that it has fully Fibonacci extended to the upside, I definitely would be being a little bit more cautious in the short term. Okay, in the short term, I'm not going super long on leverage or anything right now, just because we did just go vertical. I mean, it literally went straight up for like 2 days straight. So I would probably just cool it a little bit, just be a little bit relaxed right now, maybe not anything huge. But again, as I mentioned before, on the very short time frames, I do like this structure. I think this is a great structure, and there's a good chance that we maybe try to continue upwards or something like that. So I'm not saying it has to stop or slow down. Maybe we do push up towards $2, but just be a little more careful in the short term, because moves like this don't usually last super long anymore. But I'm not worried about that as much, okay? I'm not worried about that as much, because what we've seen, now that we've seen this move, is what I've called a verified RS flip on a macro scale. Now, the way you can identify, you're like, what in the world? Verified RS what on a what? Let's just go back a little bit, okay? Let me go all the way back. So when we're looking at XRP, I need you to remember that all this little stuff, like this little bitty move, is cool, but it's not the big picture. The big picture is what we're seeing on the grand scheme of things. So what you all know is that we have been in pursuit of that most recent high, that like $2 roughly wick that we put in back in April of 2021. We've been in pursuit of that because I've told you all, if we can break this bad boy, now we can go chase that all-time high. Now we can go chasing $3 and all that good stuff, right? And we've been in pursuit of this, and I've told you, throughout the last 2 years or so roughly, XRP has been building and building and building up the move that we're seeing right now. I would say that this is due to a lot of things. The actual just cyclicality of crypto, right? The bear market itself. Obviously what we're seeing from a regulatory perspective from XRP and how that was affecting Ripple. And just the price, right? And what I've told you all is that XRP had been building up and building up and building up, trying to get ready to break this macro Fibonacci zone, this red zone right here. It tried it back here when the SEC started losing, but that didn't really suffice in anything. We came back down, we started building up this cup and handle pattern, and then bam, what do you know? Next thing you know, XRP's price absolutely takes off towards the upside. And what we have been tracking is the clearing of this red zone, because I've told you, if XRP can sustainably break this red box between $1 and what's that? $1? I don't have my glasses on. $1.31 and 95 cents. This red box right here. If it can sustainably break above this, I believe that opens up the door not only for XRP's price to push the all-time high, but to possibly hit $3.35, and in a great world, maybe even $6.50. Now, I'm not saying this is going to be immediate, but over time, say crypto's market cap keeps going, 6 trillion, 7 trillion. XRP getting to $6.50, very possible. Very possible. And this red box is what gets us there. Because the macro Fibonacci zone, this golden ratio, this zone right here is the most important zone in all of crypto. If you get rejected off of it, it's going to get ugly, just like we did here. When we got rejected off this bad boy last time, we got pushed down 60%. But man, oh man, when you can clear that level, does it open up some crazy doors. And what we've seen from XRP over recent days is a fantastic sign, and let me tell you why. Because what XRP has done is it's broken above that red box, came back down to that red box, and built support on top of that red box. And I believe that at least in the micro, XRP has now officially done an RS flip, flipping that previous point of resistance into support, now verifying and validating that breakout, now opening the door officially for XRP's price to go up towards $3.30 to $6.50. Now, the only concern that I have, okay, is that this may not be big enough. What you have to understand is that XRP had been stuck under this resistance, this red box, for 2 years. So is it back testing it for 2-3 days enough Is a 2 or 3 day support establishment good enough? I'm not sure. Because you got to think about something like Solana, right? Look at how long, so Solana's box was right here. Look at how long it did this. It did this for 6 months. And of course, times were different. I'm not saying XRP needs to spend 6 months on top of it, but Solana had to do it for 6 months before gaining momentum and pushing upwards. Is 4 days really enough? I don't know. Especially when I look at the daily charts and I see this bearish divergence playing out, in which we're seeing the RSI putting in lower highs and the price putting in higher highs. I start to question, will we see XRP actually come back from more of a macro pullback? Will we see it start to come back down towards $1.30 for the bigger support establishment and then to push upwards? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. That's not the goal of this video. The goal of this video isn't to try to tell you what is going to happen in the short term. It's more just to tell you, like, the goal has remained the same, and it has now officially opened the door to $3.38. So this is where I think XRP's price is going in the grand scheme of things next. I think the big picture is that's where we're going next. The route to get there, though, might be a little complicated. And I just want you to understand that it might not be as cherries and roses as this bad boy just immediately pushing up, right? It might be a little bit hard. It might get a little bit ugly, and we just need to be prepared for that. But at the end of the day, if you have the stomach to sit through it, it's not really a big deal. I don't care. I don't care if XRP goes back to 130 or if it goes straight up to $3. It doesn't make a difference to me because I have the stomach to sit through it one way or another. And I just wanted to warn you a little bit and let you know, like, hey, although this is where I think we are going now, just be careful. Be careful. Don't be on 500x open long trades right now expecting to win. Probably not going to happen. We might have these moments where we need to come back for a macro pullback, and although this may not happen and it may just continue upwards, just be ready and understand that it might happen. Especially as I mentioned before, knowing that on the shorter time frames, the 4-hour time frames, we have now fully extended. We have now fully pushed that upside. All of those things say a pullback could happen. So just be careful and be aware that it's a possibility, but understand it's not a big deal. It doesn't matter if it does or not, because the big picture is that XRP is likely trying to push towards that $2, $3, $3.50 range in the big scheme next. Okay, so with that in mind, I just wanted to give you that update to let you know why what we're seeing today, it's not just as simple as, oh my gosh, XRP is up 20%, cool. No, it's so much bigger than that. We're finally unlocking these doors for XRP to push $3, $4, $5, which is way bigger than that, right? So I wanted to update you on that today. Now, as I mentioned earlier, if you're somebody who simply just wants to get better at this whole crypto thing, I want you to check out the Discord server. Now, to get access to the Discord server, you're gonna have to go through the Patreon, and the Patreon gives you a couple options. One's $5 a month, one's $17 a month. Very affordable, around the same price as Netflix or lower. Now, whenever you do go ahead and sign up, you're going to get access to this Discord server, which is going to come with a bunch of things. Insights with Tyler goes over my thoughts and insights about news and events. You can kind of pause and read some of this if you want. I also tell them about the things that I'm buying. So for example, bought some Pepe here at the green box before it pumped and just broke out recently. Bought some Sui at the bottom of this box before it pumped and broke out recently. I did a little bit of dollar cost averaging even recently on some Shiba Inu and some stuff like that. And so you can check out what I'm doing every now and then. I don't post all my trades and all my buys, but a good bit of them are posted there. And just my general thoughts and insights. I post daily technical analysis, daily fundamental analysis on the market. I've hired 2 professional trade teams, people who get paid to do trading, people who eat and sleep and live off trading, who post their buy and sell signals, so what they're buying and what they're selling, what they're long and what they're shorting, they post in here. We have premium classes, so these are classes that go much more detail for more of you advanced traders and stuff out there. I did one on the Fibonacci's and we had one on 5 keys of bull market investing. We have beginners courses. I have one already posted. I have 4 more on the way. This one is a 25-minute presentation with a 17-page PDF available for you and 2 cheat sheets that go over all the basics to technical analysis for those of you who want to get started. I have 4 more releasing soon, one on fundamental analysis, leverage trading, meme coin investing, and altcoin investing. I have Tyler's tips, which are mini videos that just go over random stuff that you can pause and read there. And then we have the community, of course, and the community's been going absolutely insane. I mean, I'll just scroll through a little bit and you can see those gains. 400, 600%, 400%. We had a 4,000% the other day. Yeah, 4,000%, 150%. The community's going absolutely nuts. They're winning and winning and winning. And it's because, again, they're learning, and that's what you want to see. Of course, we're not taking all the credit for these gains. Of course, a lot of these guys have been doing this way long, but you can see the value being added here, okay? So if you're, again, somebody who wants to just get better at this whole crypto thing, go check this out down below. And don't forget, if you do want a 10% bonus on first-time deposits, you can check out that BTCC link down below. But let's watch this like a hawk. I'll update you very soon on what happens with XRP, especially once we do get a couple more candles here on the 4-hour chart. So be on the lookout for a video tomorrow for XRP. Let me know your thoughts and comments down in the comment section down below. If you have been enjoying these 5, 6, 7 vids every single day, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Peace out, everybody.